Hello everyone, and welcome to another Tamagotchi Nano review video. This time I'm going to be reviewing the Choppertchi, which is the One Piece Tamagotchi Nano collaboration. Now, at the moment you can see my little Chopper is hiding, which is the poo equivalent on this Tamagotchi Nano. So if we press that button, we get him out of hiding, which is pretty cute. Of course, all Tamagotchis have their poo equivalent, while most of the main Tamagotchis have poo. The Nanos typically have something else instead of cleaning up poo. The ones that do have poo are like the Jurassic World Nano and the Molcar Nanos. But I don't know, I kind of like when it's not cleaning up poo and they've made something in-universe that makes sense. So we have a little bit of a scaredy cat of a Chopper, and this is his first stage as I started up a new run of this Nano this morning. So the same functionality as all the other Nanos. You press C to check out his stats and how happy he is, and he's fairly average at the moment. You press C and A to mute and unmute the Nano. I typically have mine unmuted, but it's I have mine typically muted, but it's unmuted for this video just so you can hear those beeps. And of course B gets you the time. So basically same functionality, food or games. Food is meat, which is pretty typical for a virtual pet to feed them meat as the main meal, and then the snack is cotton candy or fairy floss, depending on where you are in the world. So food is for overall hunger, and you can't overfeed them. After a while they just refuse food, but they will never refuse the snack, which in this case is fairy floss. And that helps to fill overall happiness. So now if we check the status here, we've got a happier Chopper. Also, we've got games. So, interestingly, there are 2 games on this Nano. Typically, there are 3, maybe even 4 on the Nanos. But this one, weirdly enough, has just the 2. So we have from memory, it's a timing game. Yeah, we have to get them right in the center, and you press B. So your performance in these games, as well as how many times you play them, as well as the overall care and how many snacks you give it, help determine what form that Chopper will take. And there are various forms that are references to his appearance in the anime. I've mentioned this in the unboxing video, but I'm not super familiar with One Piece. I think I've only seen 20 or so episodes, so Chopper's not even shown up yet, but I've seen plenty of screenshots of the little guy throughout the internet. So I will get up to date with One Piece one of these days, but today is not that day. And the other game has Fairy Floss as the icon. But yeah, your overall performance, and this is a catch game, so your overall performance in these games and the level of care help determine the forms, and there are various ways that Chopper looks, which are references to the show. And there's also some of the secret forms are him dressed up as the other characters in One Piece. So there's a Zoro one, which is pretty cool. And of course, these forms and how to get them can all be found on the Tamagotchi Wikia. Though last I checked, the Wikia doesn't have the requirements for all of them. It's kind of like a crowdfunding information kind of thing. And, well, Digimon Virtual Pets always have requirements up by fans within a week of release. Unfortunately, the same story does not apply for the Tamagotchi releases. So yeah, interestingly that there's 2 games, but these games are always more or less the same across the Nano releases. There's usually a button mash one. There's always also been like a Simon Says one. You have to press A or B when it tells you to. And yeah, it's weird that there's only the two ones, the timing one and the obstacle one. But in any case, I do like this Nano. I like Nanos in general. I will get up to date with One Piece one day, I promise. I haven't seen Chopper in the anime yet, and I'm also reading through the manga as well, but I'm reading it in Japanese because it's cheaper to get the Japanese versions on the Amazon Kindle store. But one day I will be up to date and I will get to see who this Chopper character is. Now, fun story. When I make the thumbnails before I actually record these videos, and I forgot his full name. And instead of just writing Chopper One Piece into Google to get an image of him, I wrote in Chopper Reed, which is not his name. It's actually an Australian criminal. And I was like, that's definitely a name. So, yeah, I almost had a picture of not the correct Chopper for the thumbnail. So that would have been interesting. But, yeah, also do not Google that because there's a lot of creepy stuff. If you want to Google it, you can, but be aware that that is a criminal's name. And criminals do criminal stuff. But yeah, I just thought I'd tell that funny story. Your mileage may vary there. In any case, how am I going to rate this Tamagotchi Nano? Ease of use is always 10 out of 10 for Nanos, except if there's any functional issues with it, like with the Molcar Tamagotchi, the buttons don't work super well, so that kind of loses points, but for 99% of the Tamagotchi Nanos, it's fine. It seems to be only the Molcar Nanos that have that issue. So it's 10 out of 10 for ease of use. I love the Nanos. You can kind of just run them and not necessarily give them that much attention. They're not super demanding. They're pretty low maintenance in terms of virtual pets. So yeah, super recommend this one if you have a fairly busy life. Overall enjoyment, I usually give the Nanos like a 9 for enjoyment. However, it does have less games, which makes it kind of less enjoyable. So I'm going to give it like an 8 or an 8.5. Probably just an 8. Overall, it is cute. I do like how there are little animations every hour that have references to the show where the other characters from One Piece show up, but that's typical of Nanos. They tend to all have that, except for, I think, the Kamen Rider one and the Fate Stay one, because the roster was so big they didn't have space to do hourly animations, but typically they have those animations, and I do like that. So 8 for enjoyment, 10 for ease of use, and those are my thoughts on the Choppertchi, the One Piece Tamagotchi Nano. Let me know your thoughts, comments, and questions in the comment section below. Like this video, for his name is Tony Chopper. He is not a reindeer dog, as I said in my unboxing video. He is just a reindeer friend. And yeah, so like this video for him. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my other videos. If you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. And of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!